I was reading the comments to last video, and obviously I opened up a can of worms to have a discussion about looks overshadowing someone's personality. And I just remembered something that I forgot to mention in that video. I told like 3 stories, but I forgot to tell this one. Back during those Team Fortress 2 days, I used to play on this same community server every night. And I remember there was this one girl who would always come on around like 8 p.m. or so. Literally every night. I'll never forget. She always played Demo Man. You know, sadly, the only black guy in the game, shaking my head. But anyway, she was like famous on the server basically because she was so consistently on it. Every time she would join, everyone would be like, hey, nice to see you again. We missed you. And it's funny because whenever I joined every day, nobody said hi to me. But they say hi to the e-girl. Of course. She would talk on her microphone from time to time. She just existed pretty much. Like she was just another person who I saw every night. People were simping over her though. Some people, when they saw her playing, they would switch teams just to be on her side, and they would purposely go medic just to heal her. She had like 10 medics. And she would just play like a single demo man. She had like 10 medics healing her. It was ridiculous. Like talk about princess treatment. Oh, and the server had this pay to win feature, by the way. And I bought it too, not gonna lie. If you donate to the server at the end of every round, you won't get team swapped or scrambled. So if you're playing with friends on like the blue team, for example, you guys will remain on the same team. So it does make things unfair because you can stack with your friends on one team and just stomp out other people or randoms. Some people, I felt like they literally paid just to stay on her team, to simp over her. So one day, right? And I'm sure some of you guys know what I'm talking about or seen this before. You know when people change their Steam display name to their Twitch name? So she joined one day on the server and she changed her name to like Twitch TV / and then her username was after that. And I was like, wow, she's a streamer now, or she's trying to start streaming. That's cool. Let me check it out. That's what I really thought. Yo, I go to her Twitch stream. This girl, man, I'll try to say this nicely. She just, with all due respect, I see a webcam on. I have first impressions. Okay, my eyes work. Okay, like she clearly had a major weight problem. And listen, I don't know her health history. Okay, so I'm not gonna be like, you know, but like on top of this, she wasn't also very good looking. Again, I'm just trying to say this stuff politically correct before people think I'm just like attacking. Okay, she just doesn't look good. And I wouldn't even say she was close to average. But hey, huge props to her for having the courage to do a webcam. Look at me. I don't even have one myself. And remember what I said. She would sometimes speak on her mic inside of TF2. Now she's streaming. It's a constant feed. She's nonstop talking. She was saying stuff, though, that seemed like she was struggling to formulate sentences. And I'm describing this not because, ha ha ha, look at her misfortunes. Look at how she speaks. Ha, look how fast she is. Like, no. Everyone is born different and with different circumstances. She could have had plenty of health issues. I don't know. Okay. Not everyone gets to choose how pretty they look when they're born, right? And when as they grow older, whatever. I'm just sharing what I saw on my first impression. I'm sorry for being judgmental, but don't act like when you go to a stream and see someone's webcam or someone's appearance in real life, you don't make observations or notations of curiosity. But this is what made me remember the story from the comments from last video. Even though she had these physical attributes of not being attractive, having heavy weight issues, and broken speech patterns, people were still simping all up in the chat. But you know what's funny? If this was a guy, a man, nobody would be watching this person. Rather, he might get trolled or flamed and be called ugly, fat, stupid because he's struggling to speak. But it's not a guy, it's a female. And I remember someone asked her during the stream what she does for work. She says that she doesn't work. She just sleeps all day. She doesn't do anything or have a skill set. So add on to the fact she has no skill set with the other things mentioned, yet men are still simping over her. But again, if this was a guy with no skill set and considered ugly and fat and stupid because he has no skill set and bad speech patterns, he just gets trolled or ignored or bullied. I'm sorry to say it. Some women can't lose, bro. Last video, we're talking about how people can look good and have a bad personality and can still make it to first base. Sometimes people will just ignore your bad characteristics because you look good. We also talked about, and I see some of y'all said this in the comments, If you're ugly, you already have a disadvantage. Dumb people act like pretty privilege doesn't exist for some reason. It's usually pretty people saying that. They don't want to act like things have been given to them just because they look good. And don't get it twisted. I'm not saying all pretty people never worked for anything. I'm not saying that. But this has been psychologically proven that people are more intrigued and open to engage with those who are attractive. And one common reason for that is that people just assume just because you look good, you must have a good personality, or you're a likable person, or you're naturally good at things. It's just how your brain is just wired to see things, right? Beauty is a certain visual aspect. Even though that's not true, that you may, just because you look good, you have a good personality, that may not be true. If you, for some reason, your brain is not working right now and you don't believe me, tell me with a straight face you're willing to deny how pretty people have been skyrocketed much better on social media platforms as either influencers, streamers, and so forth. I'm not saying every pretty person didn't put any work in, but come on, people will look more at pretty people than those who are average or below average. Remember how I told a story once about how I saw a stream recommended on YouTube and I went to her Twitch page and she had like, I don't remember, let's say 400 viewers, right? And she's just sitting there, pretty face, talking like she's on some SSRIs. She's zombied out. She just looks super pretty and she barely has clothes on. Zero personality, zero charisma, barely engaging to the Twitch stream. People are just donating to her though, right? And when you donate to people, you see like the notification pop up, like someone donated this amount of, what's it called, bits, right? Or this amount of whatever. And she's not even reading the donations on the screen. I'm like, huh? What is this stream? Y'all just paying this lady to sit on stream and look pretty? I just find it weird with the TF2 girl. How does she still have simps? Life ain't fair, man. I'm telling y'all. And some of y'all might take this as hatred, or y'all just take this the wrong way in general, or think I have a vendetta against women. I'm just saying, evidently and clearly, some women just can't lose. Not all women, because male or female rather, all human beings have their struggles and complications. But some just can't lose in life. Yo, I would feel blessed and grateful if I was able to hop on a Twitch stream and people would simp over me just because people are attracted to feminine attributes. Ayo, pause. I might just start streaming again and cross-dressing. I can't take it anymore, bro. If y'all know I'm a man, I'm gonna start streaming. I might just rock out as a femboy and hop on like, listen, y'all better simp over me. I'll just play Pokemon Sword and Shield with my microphone turned off. I don't care no more. Yeah, listen, I'm not even gonna play the game. I'm gonna leave the game on the main menu and keep my webcam on. I'm looking good and simp worthy quality, okay? Give me a deal on Twitch, bro. $500,000 or it's a dub. Like, see, you know this is what's so interesting though. Because if you really think about the TF2 story I just told, I'm sure this isn't the first time you've seen something like this though. Societal norms have implemented this idea where if a man does not look good, he's supposed to compensate through his charisma or reliability, whether that be financially or sometimes even masculinity, which doing that, I feel like amplifies toxicity. And this is why people believe in these macho man mentality type of, like, people wonder why insecure men watch these alpha male nonsense YouTubers, because they feel like, hey, since I don't reach certain standards, I'm going to emphasize my masculinity to compensate for the other things I'm lacking. Or they'll think, hey, maybe if I'm financially stable myself or become wealthy, it will overshadow my other attributes. Doesn't say it doesn't always exist, right? That doesn't always happen, because it does happen for some people. But for some reason, though, if you're a female and you're lacking certain standards, you can still get leniency if you're feminine enough. And that may not apply to every female, but you get what I'm saying. Like, we have these weird cultural standards for beauty. We also have these expectations depending on your gender. I feel like both women and men are judged harshly for their appearance, but each side has their own versions of having to compensate. Otherwise, they'll get ridiculed online, especially. That's why I think that TF2 girl, people were still simping over her, because she is very feminine. She is indeed a female, but her being as feminine as she was, it compensated and overshadowed her other attributes that I mentioned. Men can't get away with that though. And the reason why this is such a big deal is because we live in a time period where social media is one of the most active hobbies people partake in. Nearly everyone is on social media. And you know, sometimes we have these double standards where if you're a female and lack conventional attractiveness, but embody stereotypical traits like, I don't know, nurturing or again, extremely feminine, right? People will accept it. But men, on the other hand, you don't just get judged by your appearance. You will get cooked for your status, your accomplishments, if you're emotional for some reason. Like apparently men, if you're emotional, it's very feminine. I don't understand. Like if you cry, like, you know, say men shouldn't cry or something, like why is that a thing? You know, it's kind of weird. The reason for that though, simply put, a lot of people in society are stuck on traditional roles where men are valued more for their utility and status. I never grew up that way because in my household, my father, my mother ran the show. My mom always made 10 times more than my father. And basically, my mom had the power in the household. I'm not saying my dad had nothing going on, okay? But if you asked who ran my household, it was my mom. But a lot of men will have a complete ego trip about that. If you were in my dad's situation, right? They'll feel their masculinity is destroyed or challenged just because they're letting a woman have a different power dynamic. People want to talk about equality so much between men and women. Now, I'm all for it. Yet, these same people who do it though, most of them, not all, but a lot of them still cling onto traditional stereotypes of men and women, which I don't really feel like it makes sense nowadays. Going back to what I was saying, the double standard is crazy. And I know some people feel a way right now about earlier in this video, about my judgment towards the TF2 girl. But this goes all the way back to the beginning. Social media is designed to encourage others to make quick judgment. Proof or example, if you don't believe me, you see a thumbnail of a YouTube video. You judged it, articulated it quickly, and may have encouraged you to click on the video, right? You're judging something. On Twitch streams, for example, you see a thumbnail, let's say of some pretty lady, and you're like, ooh, I'm about to click on this because I'm attracted to pretty women. And I see it in the thumbnail. Literally, social media encourages people to make quick judgments. Now, unfortunately, oh, by the way, I hate when people like, I never judge people. Bro, you be judging people all the time, okay? But here's the thing. Not everyone acts on their judgment, okay? Now, like I said, unfortunately, due to social media having a sense of being anonymous and distant from the person you're talking bad about, negative people, such as trolls, or, you know, people who just want to harass others or write general hate comments, people end up finding easy targets just because they're not conforming to ideologies they believe in. We subconsciously enforce these unfair expectations. And that's why I said, I don't know what this TF2 girl's medical history was, but I saw something online and my brain makes judgment for what it sees. But I didn't engage into it. I may be judgmental, but I didn't engage into it. I didn't hop into chat and call her ugly, but nor did I simp. However, anyone has the opportunity to do that though, and can thrive by harmful behavior simply because of these unfair expectations. In a perfect world, and I don't think this would ever happen, by the way, but hey, I'm not saying you can't start by doing this now, okay? I'm not saying just because it's not going to happen, don't do this. But in a perfect world, biases based on social standards should promote more empathy and kindness to people online and offline. But sadly, the internet does not work that way, and a lot of people in real life do not work that way. And the same could be said about simp culture and the online dynamics of men and women. Anyway, what do y'all think? This episode is found on Spotify and YouTube. Times Square.
Nightmare 7 a.m. in the morning though. No surprise. Times Square's you and I under those lights. No disguise. Don't tell me everything you wanted was a lie. All those city lights, it's an endless night. Never expected you to bring me so much then it's time to say goodbye. Let's dance all night until the stars don't show glow. Till the sunrise, then we go solo. Making up for all the times that we were low. Let's make some memories before we do go. Let's dance all night until the stars don't show glow. Till the sunrise, then we go solo. Making up for all the times that we were low. Let's make some memories before we do go. Caution, wait a moment, keep my heart locked, the waves filled with emotion. Gave the key to you, right in front of you is open. Hey, try your best to not leave it broken. Oh, it's been a while since you know it's frozen.